The demand for cars has been a major storyline in this pandemic recovery that holds across all categories, including luxury vehicles like Lamborghini. They reported last week that they had their best results in sales turnover and profitability ever, highlighted by 13% year-over-year growth. For more on this, let's bring in Stephan Winkelmann, Lamborghini chairman and CEO, alongside our very own Yahoo Finance Autos reporter, Pras Subramanian. Stephan, it's great to have you on the program today. Want to ask just for the broad highlights in 2021. I understand that it was really boosted by the sales specifically of that Urus SUV. Tell us about the highlights of your year's performance.
As you told us, the first highlight is the sales. So we delivered 8,405 cars. We had a record turnover of 1.95 billion euro, which was leading up to a operating profit of 393 million euros, which was a return on sales of 20.2%. So this for us in every single point was an absolute record, which was coming from, let's say, the high demand of our super sports car, the fact that everybody was asking for more options, for more individualization, and also the mix of our cars was very positive. And as we speak, every day we are selling more cars than we are able to produce. So we have a very long order bank, which is, let's say, 1 year waiting time if you buy a car today.
Hey, Stephan, Pras here. You know, I was on the, I was on the premium brands roundtable that you had last week, and you mentioned the overcoming the Felicity Ace sinking and able to replace those one-of-a-kind Lamborghini Aventadors. How are you guys dealing with things like that in terms of supply shortages and chip shortages and having to replace cars because of things like unheard things like ship sinking and a Russia-Ukraine conflict?
Since last year, we have increased our production from the year 2020 to help to shorten, let's say, the waiting time. This was one thing we needed to do. We had inside the Volkswagen Group the opportunity to be treated in a more favorable way in terms of semiconductors. Being small with high margins, we had not to suffer about this shortage. Then the ship which were sinking, there were 85 Lamborghinis on board. We are going to replace them all because all the cars were sold, and we had to put them into production, and they will all be delivered within this year. This is the promise we are making to our customers. And we will do extra shifts and things to offset this loss as soon as we can.
You know, I'm sure that's welcome news to hear for your clients with cars on that ship. Looking ahead to 2023 and beyond, I know you guys are on track to update the Aventador with a new one that will be powered by a hybrid powertrain. I believe this will be all new for Lamborghini. We'd love to hear more about that hybrid powertrain and that game plan. And then also to see if you guys are still on track for the full EV model to come out in the latter half of the decade.
I don't know if I got it right because there was an interruption, but we are on track with our program to hybridization. So we will hybridize all our lineup in the year 23 and 24, starting with the Aventador with a complete new V12 engine with a plug-in hybrid. Then in 24, we will have the Urus, and at the end of 24, the replacement of the Huracan. All will be plug-in hybrids, and we will reduce the CO2 emissions in comparison of today by 50% at the beginning of 2025, when all these cars will be in production. What we have to promise, what we have to keep, is the fact that the new generation of cars has to be more performing than the one we have today. So this is a must for a performing or for a super sports car company like Lamborghini.
And then, Stephan, last question here. I want to ask just kind of about the structure of not just Lamborghini, but the portfolio of other companies that you're also tied together with, like Volkswagen. Some discussion about a IPO that would spin out the Porsche brand. Wondering if Lamborghini has any sort of kind of say in that possible transaction, and whether or not maybe an IPO specifically for your brand could be coming down the pike as well.
So this is not me to decide, but we heard from previous communications that there is no IPO planned for Lamborghini at time being.
Okay, short and sweet. Stephan Winkelmann, Lamborghini chairman and CEO, alongside Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian. Thanks so much for that conversation.